Hey friends, it's Niki here. Today's video is a bit different. I've been posting a lot of videos about Russia during the last year, also posted some stuff about my personal experience of living abroad, and today's video is like a mix of both of these things. We'll start personal, I have some ups and downs to share with you, a bit of my life in Georgia, a bit of my future plans, and then we'll shift to talking about Russia. I have a friend of mine from St. Petersburg filming for us in a local supermarket to check prices, something that we haven't done for quite a while already. And also we'll talk about some major events that happened in Russia recently, and also some of my personal observation on that. Yeah, so let's talk about some personal stuff first, and there is one big thing that troubles me since beginning of this year, videos about Russia. You see, during the last 3 years I've been posting a lot of videos about anything that I experienced around myself in Russia. After coming back from China, like I lived 5 years in China, I came back to Russia during the pandemic, and I thought, what kind of videos can I make? So I started posting videos about absolutely everything that I encountered in my daily life until the moment when Russia invaded Ukraine. That time I thought that how can I continue making just funny sketches about Russian language or posting Russian recipes, and I thought maybe there will be somebody in the world who would appreciate watching videos from a real person in St. Petersburg just filming what is going on there. That's what I did with my videos, and for some reason they got a lot of exposure, and so no wonder that most of people who subscribe to my channel right now, they are people who seek for videos about Russia and Ukraine. YouTube literally tells me that. So these are the channels that my audience watches, channels like Inside Russia, 1420, Roman No Fuckers. These are Russian guys who post a lot of political stuff. And also there are channels like Jake Bro, Artul Rehel, Joe Blogs, Russian Dude, and the rest of them. Here's more. Generally, people who talk about what's going on there in Ukraine, either politically or even about military stuff. And here I am among these people. I'm feeling quite confused about it, and the main point that I want to deliver here is that my initial desire was not to talk a lot about politics and stuff. It's something that was happening around me while I was staying in St. Petersburg, and something that I kept talking about after I left Russia, because I saw that people wanted to see this stuff, and that was really difficult to refocus my attention to the things that initially interested me the most. But since this summer I started to think more about it. I still feel it's interesting to talk about Russia, but I do not want to make it the major focus of my channel. Posting these updates about Russia and Ukraine caused 3 things to happen. First of all, it created a very supportive community of people, I have to say very mature people, mostly from English-speaking countries. Hello people. Secondly, it also taught me a lot about creating videos and communicating my ideas to people, which I'm doing right now. And frankly speaking, it generated quite a bit of revenue through ads and donations from people. Thank you so much for that, for watching my videos and contributing to them. That's something what gives me confidence to slow down and reevaluate the direction I'm moving with my life, all while having a lifestyle that I enjoy, living in different countries around the world like I'm doing right now in Tbilisi. Just to give you some understanding of what's life like here, there's Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, out of my window. Let me show you. Yes, so here is the view of Tbilisi from my apartment. I'm living in an old-style neighborhood. I have everything for daily life here except the fun places. The fun places are over there, like 30 minutes away from my home. Literally, if I want to go to the downtown, I just jump into subway, very nearby, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and I'm in the city center. Talking about this neighborhood, the favorite part that I have here, like personally favorite, is the mountains. You see, from this window I can see even the high mountains with snow tops, some city mountains over there, and even the neighboring neighborhood is located kind of on a mountain. You see those 2 buildings? That's so cool that they have kind of a bridge between them. It's very unique part of local architecture. It's actually getting colder in Tbilisi, so better close my window. The thing is, Tbilisi feels very much like St. Petersburg to me. Like, I didn't know that before coming here for the first time, but there are a lot of similarities, like the streets, the people I see on the streets. The overall feeling of being in the city, even some dreadful vibes, it's like all so familiar. And you know, at first I thought that I'm gonna stay in Tbilisi for quite a long period of time, not for 2, not for 3 months, I was thinking even about like half a year, but the longer I was staying here, the better I understood. Yes, I love Tbilisi, I enjoy my time here, but I only can enjoy it for a short period of time. The longer I stay here, the longer I'm getting these dreadful vibes. I don't know, it's just my personal perception of being here, and the more I want to move next, so already kind of planning my next destination. Anyway, talking about the ups part of ups and downs, there is one absolute happiest thing happened to my life recently. I was able to organize a trip for my mom from Siberia to right here to Tbilisi, so we saw each other after like a year and a half of not seeing each other, and I have to say thanks to a part of you guys. For some reason, a few people donated money, as they said, into mom's fund, so I was able not only organize the trip for my mom, but also to spoil her with some really cool destinations and things to do. It was like I flew her from Omsk, our hometown in Siberia, to St. Petersburg, then we met each other in Istanbul, we traveled to Tbilisi, explored Georgia, and that was truly amazing time. Let me actually show you a bit of Georgian beauty. Last week in Georgia for my mom, and we're exploring the mountains in the northern Georgia, very close to Russia, place called Stepatsminda or Kazbegi. Beautiful spot. We are hiking to a tiny monastery on top of the mountain, and it's literally the first hike in this kind of area for my mom.
Я не скалолаз. Мне страшно.
My mom is definitely out of her comfort zone and she's like enjoying the views and trying to climb up. Batumi, Kazbegi and Tbilisi are like one of my favorite spots in Georgia, but I'm pretty sure that this country has a lot more to offer. Talking about what Georgia can offer, I wanted to take you to a Georgian supermarket and use it as a reference when I'll be showing you a St. Petersburg, like a Russian supermarket. It will be interesting to compare what kind of stuff do they have here and what is the price difference in these two places. So, second part, let's jump to the supermarkets.
Hi everyone, I'm Dmitry and I'm sitting in the middle of St. Petersburg. It is extremely cold today and I'm absolutely not dressed for the occasion, but let's roll with it anyway. So today I'm shooting a video in the neighborhood that I grew up in, and I decided to take you to a local Dixie store. This is how it looks like. This little D letter in Russian. This is just like a 24-hour shop, and it's more on the cheap end. That's the one that I usually went to when I was a kid. Let's go check it out.
And I'm going to Freska supermarket in Tbilisi. That conveniently reminded me that I better give you more context on salaries, so you understand local prices and people's purchasing power better. Very convenient that they had job opening in English here. A cashier in my local supermarket makes 1,100 lari a month, that's roughly $400 a month. And the same job in St. Petersburg makes about $500 a month, slightly higher pay than in Georgia.
First of all, we have bread. This one is my favorite. It's the sort of bread with seeds. It costs 69 rubles, which is an okay price. It usually costs like 55 to 60 from what I remember, but it's still good. It's definitely much cheaper than in Europe. And here we actually have a bread that costs 14 rubles, which is literally just about like 15 cents. So that's the cheapest thing you can get here. Now onto the greens. A kilo of cucumbers costs around 70 rubles, which I think is just about the same as it was a couple years back. A kilo of potatoes. Costs 20 rubles, which is pretty good. But what is actually expensive, in my opinion, is the tomatoes. It's 200 rubles for a kilo. Okay, there's cheaper ones for 170. That's still pretty expensive, in my opinion. I would not get the tomatoes. Here we have some fruits. Apples are around 90 rubles for a kilo. How much are the bananas? 100. That's okay. So as far as milk goes, I remember it costing around 50 rubles for a liter. Now the cheapest I can find is 60, and it's not for a liter, it's for 900 milliliters, 930. But we do have some Belarus brands coming into Russia now, and they cost just as much as it was a couple years back. As far as the cheese goes, I usually get almost the cheapest one. The cheapest one is actually here for 100 grams. It's just 59 rubles, but I've tried it. It's not great. There's this one, which is almost as cheap. It's 200 grams for 130, and I know that it's actually good, so I'm gonna get it. This sort of fat sausage is really popular in Russia. You just slice it up, and it's really good with sandwiches. I always get the one for 100, and that's the price that I've been paying for the past, I don't know, like 5 years. 400 grams instead of 500 now. But it tastes the same still, so I think it's okay. Eggs are one of the things that actually did get more expensive. I remember all of these being like 70 or 60. Now the cheapest one I can find is the one that is actually kind of the same price as it was before, but I assume the quality is gonna be a little worse. But I actually did try these. They're fine, they're just a little bit smaller. Category 1. Let me show you how they look. Yep. Ground meat. Good ground meat is this one, 190 for 400 grams. That's how it looks like. I used to cook it a lot. Now I don't, because I'm lazy mostly, but also because of the rising prices. Kilo of Chick-fil-A is 400 rubles right now. My dad told me that the prices actually jumped up quite a bit in the last 2 weeks. Frozen goods, they also got more expensive, like chicken nuggets, 120 rubles for 300 grams. I remember them always being like 90 rubles, but they're still pretty good, so I keep getting them. Prices in grocery stores didn't change as much. For about the same price, maybe you have to switch to a little bit lower quality to get the same price as it was. But I think that's how everything is anywhere in the world. Some other things did get like twice as expensive though. For example, food delivery or restaurants, even coffee places. So I had to phase them out kind of, because I'm trying to manage my economy. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.
So welcome to Fresca supermarket. This place is huge and it's also quite popular for local people. I come here, always very crowded, and I see all kinds of people coming for grocery shopping. The first things that I typically get for myself is dairy products, and here's some milk, there's some yogurt, there's the rest of stuff over there. And I normally get for myself this red pack of Georgian milk. It's 5.65 per 1 liter. There are also some Russian brands, something familiar for me, Domik v Derevni. It costs like slightly more expensive than the Georgian milk, but this one, Простоквашино, is way more expensive, 9.5 a pack. Next to milk there are some yogurts, there's some dairy products, and the things that I often get for myself are some cheeses over here. When I was staying in Russia, I used to buy a lot of this Almeta cheese, cream cheese. Here it is almost 9 lari for 150 grams, a little bit too expensive, so I switched to having this huge packs of cream cheese from Belarus that is 18.75 for half a kilogram. Next to cheese stands there are a lot of eggs. I'm getting these eggs, they just look nicer. I like this color for eggs, and they cost 5.60 for a 10 pack. Eggs are really expensive here. Like, I see that some products, they cost about the same price like I get used to have for myself nearly in every country, but some stuff like these eggs, I don't know for what reason, but they are like double the price that I feel a typical price for that kind of a product. This chicken will be about 13 lari a kilo. This kind of beef is like 33 lari a kilo, and this under promotion 20 lari a kilo. There are many kinds of spaghetti over here. Typically I get something like barilla for myself, and it costs around 5 lari a pack. And one pack of rice, that is fresco rice, like local brand, will cost 3 lari and 15 tetri for 800 grams. Here is the fresh section with lots of vegetables, lots of fruits, a little bit of berries, and like kind of exotic fruits over there. Regular tomatoes cost 3.5 lari a kilo, but honestly they look like a little bit sad. Potato goes for 145 lari a kilo, and these beautiful eggplants, they cost 3.40 a kilo. There are also many kinds of apples, and they all cost around 4 lari a kilo. Bananas are really nice here and also inexpensive. It's like 4.45 a kilo. Let's go to the bread section. I wanted to show you this kind of bread. It's called shoti bread, and it's inexpensive. It's like 160 lari for one piece, and it's always been on sale without any plastic or paper package. Like normal bread would be covered by some kind of plastic here, but this local shoti bread is just staying here without anything. People literally take it, they put it into a shopping cart without covering it, so the bread touches the it's just something that I don't really get. Good job, Dima. I felt kind of nostalgia seeing the streets of St. Petersburg and you filming there. Now let's talk about the major events that happened in Russia recently, and overall there are 3 things that I'm gonna share today. I see a new reality in Russia where the war or special military operation, using the language of our government, is becoming or already became a part of regular life, a part of daily life routine. People just don't talk about that much, and the only news that has some relation to the war among the news that I'm gonna share with you today is about wives and mothers of mobilized men who started a series of protests in Russia, a protest against endless mobilization. 1 year ago, more than 300,000 Russian men were mobilized and then sent to Ukraine, and they are still staying there more than a year already. Obviously, their relatives are not happy about this fact, so they went to the streets of Moscow and a few other cities across Russia, and they are asking our government for justice. So what is justice in their eyes? Basically, these people are not against the war. What they want and what kind of justice they want is to have a rotation of mobilized people. They want their husbands come back home after more than a year of serving in Russian army.
Я не против СВО. Я против того, что ребята постоянно там. Мой муж после ранения находился в госпитале. Он у меня сейчас дома, вот на 30 дней реабилитации нам дали. Я считаю, что все должны попробовать и все должны сходить. Если это мобилизация для всех, соответственно, все должны быть там. Вот и все.
So basically, they want another wave of mobilization, and honestly, I do not think it's gonna happen any soon in Russia, because if our government starts a new wave of mobilization, the entire society will be stressed by that. But right now, by doing nothing, they have only a small part of our society, these wives and these mothers of already mobilized people, to be stressed, and the rest of people who are untouched by previous mobilization wave, they don't give a care about that much. Another piece of news that people discussed a lot last month is rumors about Putin's death, and that is something that I missed entirely. I literally learned about these rumors something like 2 weeks after these rumors initially appeared. This story started after one post in a Telegram group. It was discussed so massively that even Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov had to reply to these rumors saying that no, Putin, like Vladimir Putin, is not dead, he is alive, you see, he's on TV, he's here, he's doing stuff, don't worry about him. That is kind of ridiculous story, but the next piece of news is even more ridiculous and way more widely discussed right now. So basically in Russia, our government and also our religious authorities started to push ideas of anti-abortions. I guess that is the thing in Russia right now, something that our government and people call traditional values, and I don't understand what does these traditional values exactly mean. Like there is some kind of very vague understanding of what it is, and this looks not only ridiculous but also looks quite scary. Talking about this anti-abortion stuff, a few regions of Russia introduced a new set of laws about inducing women to have abortions, therefore making it illegal to talk about abortions with pregnant women or just with people in general. I don't know, that's just crazy stuff. Anyways, I hope you found this video interesting. I want to say thank you so much for being with me. Спасибо and пока.